Now the palace grounds, we have chased shadow figures many a night on that ground. We have seen shadows from behind a tree leaning, and you could see from the waist up individuals looking at you. We have been there one night. We actually caught some individuals we knew who were ghost hunting, and I'm glad they were there to confirm what we saw. Walking them out, we look up and see an individual appear behind a tree. Needless to say, it caught us off guard. It kept going back and forth behind the tree, appearing and reappearing. And then we realized it was a shadow, just something didn't seem right about it. Well, at different times, my buddy I was with who worked security, he went up to the area. He's looking over here and going, there's nothing up here. I'm going, he is looking right at you. He came back down. I went up there, same thing. I go, there's nothing up here. He goes, you cannot see anything, but what's appearing behind the tree is looking at you as we speak. Anyway, the shadow figures on that one, on the palace grounds, I've worked with guys, and I missed the one night where he has seen a couple shadow figures, and the one that seems to be consistent with a lot of officers and other individuals seen at night is a shadow with red eyes. That one would be a little, probably not too fun to see. We would always try to catch the students jumping the wall. A couple areas we set up at the upper end of the canal, could always wait for individuals walking out, and if we would hear them and catch them, we'd walk them out. Well, the one buddy of mine that I was with, the one who's also affiliated with Mr. Scratch, we always checked the palace grounds together when we worked. I'm sitting there one night on the upper end, he's back at the maze checking the area to see if anybody's back there running through the maze like they like to do. While I'm waiting on him to come back, on the oyster shells, I hear a set of footsteps start gradually progressing toward my location. Well, first I'm thinking it's a couple, it could be an animal, and then as they get closer, it sounds like, no, that sounds like actual people walking. So I'd say they probably got within about 20 feet. I'm going, okay, I'm going to hit them with the flashlight, stop them, walk them out, no big deal. Except when I turn the flashlight on, there's nobody standing there. I'm going, okay, I don't know what I'm hearing. At that time, I thought maybe it was an animal, jumped off the path. Cut the flashlight off, went and sat back down where I was out on the one bench waiting. Then I start hearing the footsteps again. They start coming closer and closer and closer. Going, okay, this is not your normal thing to happen here at nighttime. So they probably got within approximately 6 to 7 feet. Hit the flashlight again. There was nobody there. There was nothing. The only thing I'm looking at is an empty path, nobody around. The moon was out enough there that if somebody had been walking, you would have seen them. And they just stopped. So me being me, I looked and said, okay, I don't know who you are, but I hope you're having a good evening. If you're here having fun, have a good evening, be safe. Just be careful. About that time, you could hear them turn and start walking back in the other direction, heading back down the path, which would be heading back toward Lafayette Street. Well, about 10 minutes later, my buddy comes up there and he goes, did you happen to see anybody walking on the path? I said, no. And he said, why? He goes, I heard people walking. I said, well, that's odd because so did I. They came up to my area. I told him what I experienced. He goes, that confirms what happened to me. He goes, I'm standing on the hill. It was dark enough where he was hidden. When anybody was walking down below, they would not see him. But the moon was bright enough, it illuminated the path, that if somebody was walking, you would see him. He goes, I heard the footsteps. He goes, they got closer and closer, and as they passed by me, he goes, I realized I'm hearing 2 sets of footsteps, but could not see the individuals attached to them. And they gradually just went on their way down the path. So we both experienced the same thing and kind of were able to confirm what had happened. It's the only time it ever happened on that shells that we actually could hear somebody on the oyster shells walking. Never had it happen since that time. That was actually pretty cool. The only thing as I say, if they had answered me when I said have a good night, I'd probably still be running from the other direction.